If I had to start investing from zero, absolutely no investment whatsoever, this would be exactly how I would start investing as a beginner in Germany. Step by step of what I would do to grow my net worth. Stocks, ETFs, crypto, you name it. Now, obviously, you need money to make money. So for a large majority of us, this can be achieved by doing a job for someone else. You don't have to have a huge income. You can start from just €1 per month. So it doesn't matter if you're an employee with a full-time job, a student with a mini job, or someone with a monthly allowance. So technically, I won't be starting from absolutely zero. What I'm assuming is that I have some income coming in. It does not have to be a large amount as long as I have something that can help me with my basic expenses like rent, food, travel, etc. By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is SN, I'm a researcher, and on this channel, we discuss how to succeed financially in Germany. 99% of the people who want to get started with investing as a foreigner in Germany get stuck in the first step. I too lost a lot of precious time in this step when I started with investing. What are the investing options available in Germany? Is it safe to invest in the stock market? What are ETFs? Are stocks better than ETFs? All of these questions are valid, and you should know the answers to all of these. But do not let these questions stop you, because it can get very overwhelming very quickly. As soon as you start researching the investing options available in Germany, you get so many new questions before you get a single concrete answer. On top of that, there are so many opinions confusing many beginners, and unless you're extremely motivated, you just stop there. At the start, I too got very confused, and I really wish someone told me what I'm about to tell you, and that is simply dive in and learn by doing. To do that, the first step would be to open an account with an investing app, ideally where you pay no commission fees. My favorite investing app in Germany is Scalable Capital. I have been using it for more than 3 years, and I have never had any problems with them. I will also be using this app as an example throughout this video. So as I said, I would have opened an account directly with Scalable Capital and bought one share of the cheapest stock I could find. It doesn't matter which company it is. The cheaper the better, 40 cents or €1. I would do this because getting started is the most difficult part. Now that I have created an investment account and made my first trade, I will be motivated to learn how to invest instead of thinking if I should invest. Okay, so let's talk about that. How to invest as a foreigner in Germany. For most foreigners or expats in Germany, investment means real estate. For them, buying a house in Germany is the only option. Maybe buying some gold on the side until they have enough to put in a 10 or 20% down payment on their first house in Germany. I agree, real estate in Germany, if done correctly, is a great investment. I too thought like that. But here's the problem with that. Buying real estate in Germany is a huge commitment. It takes a lot of money and a lot of time to think things through. It will take you years before you are able to save the 10% buying cost, let alone any money for the down payment. You can always do things in parallel. Build your investing muscle before you make your biggest financial decision in Germany. And I think investing in the stock market is the best way to build a habit of investing. With investing in the stock market, you generally have two options. First is buying individual stocks, and second is buying ETFs. Stocks are small pieces of a company that people can buy. When you buy a stock, it's like owning a tiny part of that company. If the company does well and makes money, the value of your stock can go up, and you can sell it to make more money than you bought it. But if the company doesn't do well, the value of your stock can go down, and you might lose money. An example of that would be Apple. You can buy an iPhone, an iPad, or a MacBook, but you can also buy Apple shares to be a part owner of the company. ETFs or exchange traded funds are like baskets that hold lots of different stocks or other investments. Imagine you're shopping for fruit, but instead of buying just one apple, you buy a basket that has apples, oranges, and bananas all together. In the same way, an ETF lets you buy small parts of many different companies at once. So an ETF can contain company shares from Microsoft, Apple, Google, and many other companies. This helps spread out the risk. If one stock in the ETF doesn't do well, other stocks might do better, so you don't lose as much. It's a way for people to invest in lots of things without picking just one. When I started investing, I began with individual stocks. While I did make some money in the beginning, I also lost some. Now I'm going to share 3 investing strategies. One of them should definitely suit you. But before we get into those strategies, let me answer an important question. How much money should you invest each month? Please hit the like button if you're getting value from this video, and consider subscribing. So how much should you invest each month? Is €10 enough, or should it be 100 or even more? To be able to answer that question, you need to do three things first. First would be to create an emergency fund. This step is absolutely essential. Without it, there's no point in investing your money. Why? Well, the goal of investing is to grow your wealth over time. But if an unexpected expense comes up, like a medical bill, a car repair, or losing your job, you might be forced to sell your investments at a bad time, possibly at a loss. An emergency fund is your financial safety net. It ensures that no matter what happens, you have money set aside to cover unexpected expenses without having to touch your investments. The emergency fund size varies from person to person and their expenses. I would start with at least 1,000 euros. Once I reach that amount, I would aim to save enough to cover 3 months worth of expenses. You can have a larger emergency fund, but for me, 3 months worth of expenses is enough. To help build this emergency fund, I would open a separate bank account. There are many banks where you can open an account with no fees. You can visit my website snfinance.com for more details on that. For each salary I receive, I would automatically transfer a set amount into this account. This way, I can build my emergency fund as quickly as possible. Once I have the emergency fund in place, I will be better prepared to start investing, knowing that my day-to-day needs are covered no matter what life throws your way. Second step is to make a budget. Now this is where many people struggle. Once they get their salary, they do not know where their hard-earned cash is going. Food, rent, groceries, travel, it's all good. But knowing how much you spend on each big category is absolutely essential. So what I would do is open up my banking app and analyze my income and expenses for the last 90 days. Take a pen and paper, make 2 columns and write down money coming in on one side and money going out on the other side. Rent, phone bills, utility bills, insurances, groceries, clothing, all of the expenses. Then see my monthly expenses, which should be money coming in minus money coming out. If this amount is less than 15% of my income, I would try to reduce my expenses. The higher the savings rate, the more I can invest and grow my net worth. Third step is to set an investment time horizon. Investment time horizon refers to how long you plan to keep your money invested. The longer your time horizon, the more risk you can afford to take with your investments. Statistically, the longer you invest, the higher your chances of getting a positive return, which allows you to take on more risk since the odds are in your favor. For example, if you invest for just 2 years and the market crashes at the end of year 2, causing you to lose half of your investment, you'll be in trouble. But if the same market crash happens in year 2 of a 10-year investment period, you'll have 8 more years for your money to recover and grow. Take the 2020 crash as an example. It was a big deal at the time, but the market eventually recovered and even grew higher. So anyone with a long-term diversified portfolio likely saw their net worth not only recover but also grow. Based on my goals, I would set an investment time horizon of at least 10 years. This gives my money to grow and recover from any market dips or crashes. Now that I have followed the 3 steps, I can easily answer how much money I can invest each month. For example, if I have my emergency fund, which is about 1,000 euros if I'm a student, 3 to 4,000 euros if I'm a full-time employee who is single, or 8 to 9,000 if I'm married with children, I'm able to save at least 15% of my monthly income and have a 5 to 10 years investment time horizon. Then I think 10% of my monthly savings should be invested. If I'm able to save a higher percentage like 30 to 40% of my monthly income, then I should be investing at least 30 to 35% of that. So I know how much I should be investing each month. But the next question is, where should I invest? To answer this, I'll share 3 investing strategies that depend on your willingness to take risk. This step is crucial because many of us think we have a higher risk tolerance, but in reality, we often misjudge it. To assess my risk tolerance, I ask myself, what is the largest drop in my investments that I am willing to endure and still stay invested? You might think you can handle more risk and still sleep well at night, but until you have experienced a market drop, you cannot be sure. The last thing you want to do is panic sell at a loss. If you sell at a loss and the market recovers, you won't benefit from the rebound. Instead, you'll have to buy back at a higher price, essentially doubling your loss. I learned this lesson very early. Just 20 days into investing, my investment portfolio lost 6% in a single day. 4% of the loss was due to the market drop and the other 2% was was because I panicked and sold. Then I bought back in after the market had not only recovered the 4% but had actually gone up another 2%, which cost me even more. Had I properly assessed my risk tolerance before investing, I wouldn't have sold at a loss of 4%. Now, I have set my maximum loss tolerance at about 20% of my invested capital. So, in combination with my long-term investment horizon, most market downturns have very little impact on me. Alright, let's talk about the 3 strategies. The first strategy involves building an investment portfolio entirely made up of ETFs. This is my favorite strategy and I think it works well for almost everyone. Whether you're a beginner investing for the first time in Germany or someone with years of experience. With an all ETF portfolio, I not only save mental energy by not having to consistently think about my investment, but I also let them grow passively. Depending on your risk tolerance, you can keep it simple with a single all-world ETF like the Vanguard All-World ETF, which includes companies from across the globe. By investing in this one ETF, you're investing in 3,668 companies worldwide. Alternatively, you can create a more diversified portfolio, like the 70-30 split between 2 ETFs. 70% in the core MSCI World, which covers 1,411 companies from developed economies, and 30% in the MSCI Emerging Markets ETF, which invests in 1,285 companies from emerging markets. Now, if you stuck around this long in the video, make sure to turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any more videos like this one. The second strategy involves investing in both individual stocks and ETFs. This approach comes with more risk compared to an all ETF portfolio, as investing in individual stocks can be risky. If the company you invest in goes bankrupt, your entire investment in that company can go to zero. Recent examples like Wirecard, FTX, and the Silicon Valley Bank show how even large companies can collapse unexpectedly. If you had invested in any of these, you would have lost everything. I've personally experienced this as well, investing in companies that later went bankrupt, resulting in total loss. However, with higher risk also comes the potential for greater rewards. If you invest in a company that performs well, the returns on your portfolio can be significant. For instance, since I started investing in IBM, the stock has done very well. As of the time I'm making this video, my investment has grown with an unrealized profit of over 50%. This strategy allows you to balance your portfolio by having a safety net with ETFs while potentially boosting returns through individual stocks. Now, it's important to carefully research and choose the right companies. Unlike ETFs, which spread the risk across many companies, individual stocks require more attention and you need to be comfortable with the possibility of major losses as well as gains. The third strategy adds cryptocurrencies on top of individual stocks and ETFs. Personally, this is the strategy that I am following. Now, it's important to understand that crypto is volatile and risky. In the stock market, a 20 to 30% loss would be considered a major global crisis. But in the world of crypto, this kind of swing is not only common but can happen regularly. While crypto offers the potential for extremely high returns, it also comes with the risk of massive losses in very short period. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum have seen huge price increases over time, but they've also experienced sharp crashes. For example, during the 2017-2018 crypto crash, Bitcoin lost about 80% of its value. Similar drops have happened more recently as well. The reason I include crypto in my portfolio is that despite its volatility, it has the potential for higher growth that you just don't get with traditional stocks or ETFs. However, I limit my exposure to crypto, usually around 5 to 10% of my total investment portfolio, because I know the risks are higher. This way, even if my crypto investment takes a big hit, it won't devastate my overall portfolio. Now, obviously, these are just 3 strategies and there are many others out there for you to choose. But if you're interested in the details of my entire portfolio, including which stocks, ETFs, and crypto I'm investing in, you can watch this video. And in this video, I share my Scalable Capital tutorial where I show you step by step on how to use the Scalable Capital app. So thanks for watching, bleib gesund, and I'll see you in either of these 2 videos.